in the 1960s, there was a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz, and he discovered something that completely broke his brain. He'd fix someone's face, remove their scars, and reshape their nose, give them the exact look that they had been dreaming about. And some of these people, well, they'd walk out of his office completely transformed, suddenly confident, outgoing, living their lives like different people. But others, they'd look in the mirror at their new face and they'd still see that same ugly, unworthy person staring back at them. The same insecurities, same self-doubt, the same limiting beliefs. And Maltz said something that still haunts me. The self-image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change the self-image and you change the personality and the behavior. And if you don't change your inner image, the outer change doesn't mean shit. He called it Psycho-Cybernetics, your mind's internal GPS system, the mental autopilot that keeps dragging you back to who you think you are, no matter how hard you try to run from it. And here's the part that's going to really tick you off. Modern neuroscience proved he was right. My name is Dr. Amir Hall. I'm a subconscious reprogramming specialist. And for the past 25 years, I've been helping high performers break through their identity level blocks to create the results that they've been chasing. And what I've seen over and over again is this. Your brain has this thing that's called the Reticular Activating System, the RAS. It filters 11 billion bits of information per second, but it only lets in the information that matches your identity. So if you're secretly saying, I'm unlucky, well, your brain will seek the evidence to prove that you're right. And if your identity says, I'm not confident, well, your subconscious will delete, distort, and ignore every compliment, every win, every opportunity that contradicts that belief. You literally cannot see what doesn't match who you think you are. And this is why 99% of the people stay stuck and they self-sabotage themselves. Because unconsciously, you're out there wanting more money, more success, more freedom. You're setting these goals, you're doing affirmations, you're reading the books, but unconsciously, your brain is finding reasons and evidence that you're not worthy, that you're not confident, that you can't do it. And the worst part, you cannot outperform the subconscious. That system, that subconscious programming is so strong that no amount of discipline or strategy or hustle can override it. It's like you haven't showered in 5 days and you just keep spraying on more perfume. And you stink. The 50-ish-year-old senior executive, and he's been laid off 3 times in 10 years, and it was eating up his retirement, destroying his sense of security. And then it happened again. He got laid off again. And that's when he came to me. And he was on the verge of, Skid Row, bankruptcy, about to lose everything he'd worked so very hard for. Now, here's the thing about Kevin. He wasn't some personal development newbie. This man had been on a spiritual path for decades. He's done the affirmations. He's done the self-hypnosis, read the books, watched the videos, gone to the conferences and the trainings. He thought he knew all the ways, but nothing was working. Because knowing all this stuff and actually reprogramming your subconscious at the identity level, well, those are completely 2 different things. When Kevin started working with me, we didn't primarily focus on his resume or the job search strategy. We went straight to his identity. We started reprogramming how he saw himself at the deepest level. And here's what happened. Within 3 months, just 3 months, Kevin didn't just get rehired, but he doubled his income from $225,000 a year to $450K. And it gets better. He was shooting for the vice president position, and that was his goal. But instead, he landed a job as a global senior vice president. Not because suddenly he was more qualified, not because he networked harder or he had a better resume. Oh, we polished it up quite a bit. But because he became the person who was a vibrational match for that level of success. His identity changed. His reality had no choice but to follow it. And here's what nobody tells you. You don't need more discipline. You don't need another strategy or marketing plan or another employee. You need a new identity because every thought, every emotion, and every action, there's hundreds of mental decisions and physical actions that you automatically make every single day. Everything comes from your identity. Your identity creates your desires, your patterns, your expected results, and your reality. And when you change your identity at the subconscious level, everything that follows it changes automatically. And if you don't change that deepest part of yourself, the course of your subconscious, which is your identity, nothing will change because your subconscious doesn't follow your effort or how hard you work. It follows your beliefs. It follows your internal operating system. So instead of chasing success and money and the external stuff, let's just be a successful person. Be that abundant person with an identity level. And I'm not talking about affirmations or I am successful repeated in the mirror till you turn blue. I'm talking about a real identity transformation because 99.999% of your identity comes from your past. You define yourself by what has happened, by what your parents told you, what you experienced as a kid. From the time you're born till about 7 years old, your brain is in this theta state, literally downloading information to construct who you are today. And this is why changing yourself is the most difficult thing you'll ever do. Your identity up to today is so familiar, so comfortable. And even when it's keeping you broke or stuck or stressed, but here's the truth. The reality you're living in is a mirror. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you you. So let me ask you something. Do you want to keep being who you've been? Or do you want to step into who you really are? And that version of you that existed before the fear, before the programming, before society told you who you should be. The version that's confident and worthy and abundant, and that you can make the money or the business or the life that you want. But you have to let go of who you've been. Now, here's what most people don't understand is success isn't something you chase. It's a frequency you tune into. Think of it like a radio. If you're tuned into 98.5 FM, you can't hear what's playing on 101.3. The signal is there, but you can't access it because you're on the wrong frequency. Your current identity is broadcasting on a frequency that matches your current reality. If you want a different reality, more money, better relationships, a bigger impact in the world, you need to change your frequency. And that happens at the subconscious level, not through affirmations, not through faking it till you make it, through deep emotional reprogramming, through actual identity transformation. So I want to take you through something right now, a brief guided visualization, a meditation per se, that's going to give you that taste of what this identity shift actually feels like. So if you're driving or you're doing something that requires your attention, just bookmark this and come back to it a little bit later. But if you can, I want you to find a comfortable position. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just maybe soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for just a minute. And then exhale slowly through your mouth. Let those shoulders drop. Let the tension release from your jaw, your neck, and just breathe. And now I want you to become aware of that identity that you've been carrying, that old version of you, the one that's been holding you back. Maybe it's an identity that says that I'm not good enough, or I always struggle with money, or success isn't for people like me. And just notice that. Don't judge it, just observe it. This identity has been like heavy armor that you've been wearing for years. And it was designed to protect you, to keep you safe. But it's also been keeping you small. Now, I want you to imagine that armor. Maybe you can visualize it out on a screen in front of you. Maybe you're looking at a movie screen. And you can see that armor as limiting beliefs, those old stories. But see them as actually pieces of metal or stone that's covering your body, weighing you down heavy and restricted. And one by one, I want you to start removing them. Take off the mask of I'm not worthy. Remove the chest plate of I'm not confident. Release the chains of I always fail. And just feel those pieces falling away piece by piece, belief by belief. And as you remove each piece, notice how much lighter you feel, how much more space you have to breathe, how much freedom you're creating. And keep breathing. Good. Now, underneath all that armor, there's the real you, the version of you that existed before the fear, before the conditioning, the version that's confident and powerful and abundant. And I want you to connect with that version right now and just see yourself standing there, full embodied in this new identity. What does this version of you look like? How do you carry yourself? What energy do you radiate? Notice your posture, your expression, your presence. This version of you already has everything that you want. You're already living the life that you've been chasing. You're already a vibrational match for the money, the success, the freedom. And here's the truth. This isn't some future version of you. This is who you really are right now. You've just been covering it up with that old programming. So I want you to step into that version of yourself fully, completely, and feel what it feels like to be this person. Feel the confidence in your body. Feel the certainty in your mind and the abundance in your energy. This is your new frequency. This is the signal you're broadcasting now. And as you tune into this frequency, just begin to notice what shifts in your life. Notice the opportunities that suddenly become visible. Notice the people who start showing up, and notice the ideas that flow to you effortlessly. Because when you change your frequency, your reality has no choice but to match it. The brain starts seeking evidence for this new reality, and your actions automatically align with who you're becoming, and the universe, the quantum field response. So breathe into this new identity. Let it anchor in every cell of your body. Let it rewire the neural pathways in your brain. You are no longer the old you. You are the person who has what you want. And from this moment forward, you move through the world as that person. And take one more deep breath in and hold it, and then slowly exhaling, sealing this new identity in place. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. That right there, well, that's just a glimpse of what's possible when you do this work at the deepest level. And this is exactly what I do with my clients. We don't focus on surface level strategies, the subconscious, and reprogram your identity at the core. Because when you change your identity, your reality has no choice but to follow. Your brain starts to seek evidence for your new beliefs. Your actions align with who you're becoming, and the opportunities and the money and the success, they start showing up because you're finally a vibrational match for them. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're stuck at an income ceiling, or you're a professional that's stuck on a career rut, whether you're stuck at 10K a month or 20K a month or 50,000, or you want to hit 100,000 or 200 or a million, or if your career, the professional, you're looking for that new path or that promotion that you've been chasing, you don't need another marketing course or another certification. You need to reprogram your subconscious at the identity level. And that's exactly what I help people do. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and click the link in the description where you can book a free 15-minute call with me, and we'll walk through the exact formula that helped Kevin double his income and land a position higher than he ever thought possible. Because you don't have another 5 or 10 years to waste. The version of you that has everything that you want, that person is already inside you. You just need to remember who you are. So go ahead and click the link. Let's make it happen.